Welcome back, beloved, to the shop. I just ran into a problem with not having the right bolt, which I could do one of two things. Take the long drive to the hardware store where they're not going to probably have what I need, and if they do have it, it's going to cost me 3 prices, or with a simple tap and die kit, you can make your own bolts when you run into situations like this. Let me show you the problem I ran into and how you can easily fix this. This is the 3-inch M12 bolt. That M stands for metric, which is European for manure. This has to fit in this new stem, or the new handlebar mount that I'm using. I almost got burned here. I ran it down, ran my Loctite in it, and I put it up tight, just like this. I'll show you. This can get you. You have to be careful with it. All right, got that thing torqued down right, thought it was all done, getting ready to put it back together, and I looked down and I noticed, wait a minute, that's not tight. How can that be? This is tight, but the bolt's not tight. Well, the new stem, or the new handlebar mount, is a different thickness. And what's happening is the shoulder of the bolt is coming down hard on the top of the triple clamp. Now, what does that have to do with you? Well, you can run into that situation. Your bolts will have what they call a shoulder on them. Not all of them are threaded all the way through. They don't need to be, especially if you don't want that wearing on material. I'm going to show you how, with a simple tap and die kit, how you can cut your own threads and make it exactly how you want it. This is a very inexpensive tap and die kit. This is something that should be in every professional homeowner's kit. This is not a high quality one. This is just simply Harbor Freight quality one my dad got me for Christmas years ago, but I don't use it very often, so it works fine. You've got the manure side here, and then you've got the Americans over here. So you've got taps and dies. So what this is these little dies here cut threads into a handle like this. These here cut threads in if you drill a hole. So you can drill a hole, so you can thread anything you want, whether it be steel or aluminum with this. It's not difficult to do. It doesn't take any special skill, just a couple tricks, but let me show you. So this is an M12. I got it chucked up here, and we'll cut these threads together. This is a very good skill to have and something that will make you very useful as a professional homeowner. Now, a tap kit or die kit is going to be, it's going to go a certain way. Usually, if you see the writing on it, that's the way you want to start. It's easy to check because it'll go further in one way than the other. It's actually cut on a taper. So if you want, I believe, I could be wrong, but I've always thought that to be true. And it's also a good way, if you have threads that are all messed up, you can chase them. So all you got to do is just take your little die tool. It'll have a small set screw in there, and tighten that up. And again, if you have something that's all chewed up that you can't get started, this is a good way to chase those threads. And double check it. It should spin on there just like a nut. Now, it's important to use a cutting fluid or a cutting paste. So when you order your die kit, just make sure you just get some gel or the liquid stuff. That makes a big, big difference. Now, we could make this whole thing threads if we want to. It's not a problem at all. But how you do it, you don't want to go hog wild on it. You want to go about a quarter at a time, a quarter to a half. So go like this and then back. And you'll feel it'll cut the thread that you just cut. It'll cut off the tail. Quarter turn. No reason to get in any hurry. We want to add about 1/4 of an inch of threads. Be sure to use plenty of cutting fluid on there. You want to keep that die lubricated or it'll break. All right, let's take a look at our threads. Look at that. Beautifully cut new threads. You can see where they'd stop there. And I went a little more than I needed there, but that's just fine. Probably did more of a 1/2 inch or so. But just like the original ones, beautiful cut threads. We saved that bolt. We don't have to buy a new one now. I'm going to clean these up a little bit since they'll need to be Loctited. These are critical bolts that will be holding handlebars on a motorcycle next to a helicopter propeller rotor nut. These are almost that important. Well, I bet this solves our problem. When you do your Loctite, just where the threads come in contact, this stuff's kind of expensive, so there's no reason to waste it. I'll just run it around like one strip there. That's usually enough. And let's see if that solves our problem. Well, one of my favorite tools I ever bought. It took me a long time to buy them. I never could splurge on them, but these. Having dedicated Allen T-handles, my goodness. Handiest thing ever. All right, let's put the Swede on it, as my granddad used to say. Yeah. Look at that. Problem solved. We didn't have to buy another nut. So what happened is when that ran down there, these threads weren't long enough, and they bumped out. They're bottomed out right there on the top of that triple clamp. We cut them extra ½ inch or so, and that gave them the ability to go down there and to seat where they needed to seat. So as long as there's no conflicts on the bottom, which there don't appear to be, then we should be just fine. Let's do our second one together here. Excellent. That's really all there is to it. It's not something that you should be scared of. Just a good basic tap and die kit. Even if it's Chinese made, most of them are pretty hard. They seem to work fine for just the regular use. If you need to go the other way, if you need to tap a hole, a lot of times they'll give you the corresponding drill bit. What size? Just drill the size, tap it, the same process, use the cutting fluid, and you can make your own bolts and do your own stuff. And it's a handy skill to have. I know it's a basic thing for a lot of you guys, but show some grace. Not everyone had the opportunity to have another man show them how to do these things. And I didn't come out of the womb knowing how to do it, neither did you. So there's a lot of folks, especially young guys, that don't know this. So don't be afraid of it. You can do your own. Just another little quiver in or arrow in your quiver. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers. And we'll see you guys on the next video.